In this example, we're asked to prepare a loan amortization for the first 2 months on this house, which was $220,000 and winds up having a mortgage of $176,000 after all is said and done. Now, we're paying a 7% interest rate plan over 30 years and we're making monthly payments. So, first of all, we have to find the interest that's going to accrue for the first month on the mortgage given this interest rate plan. So remember, interest is equal to principal times rate times time. So right off the bat with this rate here, I should probably convert that to a decimal. So 7%, if I take 2 hops, doing doing, is going to be 0.07. Now, the other confusing bit is, remember, whenever we use t here, we're not using 30 because we're not computing the interest one time 30 years later, but we're computing the interest every single month. So since this has to be in terms of years, every time we do one of these calculations, the t we're using is actually going to be 1 over 12. Why? Well, because if we're making a payment every month, then the amount of time that has elapsed between payments has been 1/12 of a year, or 1 month. So, with all that said, for this first calculation of interest, the very first one here, so I'll put I1, we're going to do the mortgage, $176,000, times the rate of 0.07, times the amount of time of 1 over 12. So I'll chuck that in the calculator, 176,000, parentheses, 0.07, close, and then new parentheses, 1 divided by 12. And I'm getting that the interest for the first month, and I'm rounding everything to the nearest cent, is $1,026.67. Okay, cool, so we got the interest. Now, we want to know what amount of our monthly payment is going to interest and what amount is going to principal. Well, we're making monthly payments of $1,171. So to find the portion of this that's actually going towards the mortgage, we just subtract. So we're going to do $1,171 minus the interest, $1,026.67. When we do that, we get $144.33. Okay, so out of our first payment, most of it is interest. Sorry, that's just how this works with these plans. So, $1,026.67 in interest, $144.33 towards the principal. How much of the mortgage is left, or what's the loan balance now? Well, the amount left is going to be our original mortgage minus, unfortunately, not the whole payment we made, but just minus the amount of that actually went towards the mortgage, which is this $144.33. So, for this part right here, I'm going to be doing my mortgage, $176,000, minus the principal payment, which is $144.33. So if I do that, I get $855 as well. And I need to expand this out a bit. And 67 cents. Okay, so again, before going on to month 2, month 1, there was $1,026.67 of interest that had been accrued by this point, and we pay that off with our first payment, and the amount that's left over is $144.33, and that actually goes towards the principal, the mortgage. After that payment, the amount left on the mortgage is $175,855.67. So that's the first month, but we're asked to calculate the second month as well. So the thing you have to be careful with here is when you do the interest for the second month, there is not $176,000 left on your mortgage. There's this amount, $175,855.67. That's the amount left on your mortgage. So that's what I'm going to use in my new interest calculation. So 175,855.67, and times 0.07, and then it's still 1 month that has elapsed since our last payment, so that's 1 out of 12 again. So let me throw this in the calculator, 17855.67, okay, and then times 0.07 times 1 divided by 12, enter, and I'm getting, for this interest, it is $1,025 Again, I'm rounding to the nearest cent. Okay, so notice our interest is a little bit less because there was a little bit less mortgage this time. But again, how much of this is going towards the principal? Well, we're making a payment of $1,171, so again, we're just going to subtract. So $1,171 minus $1,025.82. If I subtract that, the amount we paid towards the principal is now $145.18. So notice, and if we kept going, this would continue. The amount we pay towards interest does go down a little bit, and the amount that's paid towards the principal goes up a little bit each month that goes by. So right now the numbers on the interest are much bigger, but towards the end of the loan, most of the money will be going towards the principal. So that's nice at least. Okay, so again, we're paying this much off actually of the mortgage. This is the amount that doesn't go towards interest. So to find our new loan balance, we just have to subtract this from the previous month's loan balance. So we're doing $175,855.67, and we're subtracting the $145.18. So if I do that, we should be getting $175,710.49. So the numbers can get kind of nasty here because it's all decimals. I mean, it is money after all. But that's the first 2 months of this schedule. The first month, we pay $1,026.67 in interest, and out of our monthly payment of $1,171, only $144.33 goes towards the actual mortgage, which leaves $175,855.67. Then from there, we do the same steps for the second month, and so the amount of interest on now this, after a month passes, has come to $1,025.82, which leaves a little bit more to be paid towards the principal of $145.18. And so finally, at the end of the second month, we still have $175,710.49 on our mortgage. And that is this example.